Okay, now we're going to look at one-way streets. Again, hopefully you'd looked at the emerging and turning, so I'm not going to go through all that MSPSL routine too much. I will mention it a bit, but obviously you've got to carry that out. But the difference with one-way streets is you shouldn't have anyone coming towards you. Notice the word shouldn't there, so we're still looking ahead, we're still planning. Particularly cyclists. Cyclists come up one-way streets the wrong way, so we're definitely going to be looking for them, particularly when turning out of one-way streets. The main difference is when we turn out, we can position differently. So if we're going left, it's a normal left. If we're going straight on, we'd keep to the left unless it was marked otherwise. Invariably in one-way streets, you can't tend to go straight on at crossroads. They tend to be rights and lefts, as you'll see in a minute. But you may be able to go straight on. And for turning right, we can position ourselves well over to the right, unlike normally. Because if we don't, one, our vision probably won't be as good, and two, if we don't, the car behind might, and then you find you're both trying to turn right. So we'll see what happens when we make the video, but it can be quite interesting. When you turn into a one-way street, again, when you turn right into a one-way street, you can cut the corner because there isn't a corner to cut. But it's still got to look because there still could be something coming out. But again, if you go too far up, think I'll be safe and I'll go further up. You'll get people behind cut the corners, both of you trying to go down a road that's too narrow then. So you do turn right as soon as you can, but you've got to make sure it's clear and safe. So I'm going to give you quick examples here, okay? So we do our normal things for pulling away. And now we're going to take the next left. So this is a one-way street. So I would just turn left as normal. It's no different from turning left into a two-way street. Left is no different at all. I'm still looking for people coming the other way. Down these particular ones we've got speed humps because people tend to speed down one-way streets because they presume nothing's going to come the other way, so they tend to go faster. But kiddies can still run out from the side of the road, etc., and probably still will more so because again they think, oh, it's a one-way street, they only look one way and so on. So we're going to go right at the end here, and this one they've actually, you can get in the right, you can't get in the right hand side, so we're going to go right and we're going to have to use the left lane. You'd normally get right over to the right, but they've put protective barrier in the way for some reason, so we just need to be aware of that. But quite often you'd be able to actually get right over to that lane. Hopefully I can show you that in a minute. So you'd look right around as normal, no different to that, and you've got to see what type of road you're moving into as well, because that may well be a one-way street, so you've got to make sure you're turning the right way into it. So we're going to go left here, so again into a one-way street, no different when turning left. As you can see, it's a one-way street, this car's facing the wrong way. So I just want to show you that. So that means he's coming to the one-way street the wrong way. So that's what you're looking for. Yeah, I haven't set that up, I didn't know that was there, so that just proves that people do not always do what they should in one-way streets. So you've got to be very, very careful. Because they shouldn't come up here doesn't mean that, particularly if they've just changed them. When they made all these streets one-way streets, the first couple of weeks it was very interesting because you had people coming up the wrong way all the time. And they were just, just not looking at the signs because the roads had changed. So we're going to go right here, so we're going to check the middle and right mirror and see this time we're going to go over to the right because it's a one-way street. There's nothing that's going to come in, hopefully, but even if it does, we still can go to the right as long as we're looking for it, because if you don't, someone else will, and you'll both try and turn right at the same time, which just won't work. So we're going to take the next right. We're looking to see if it's a one-way street or not. It doesn't appear to be. So it's a normal right turn. We've got to go halfway up and turn when it's safe. So looking for the pedestrian as normal. So you can see it's a two-way street here because cars are facing both ways. Again, that's not a guarantee, is it? But really important when you're in areas like this where there's one-way streets and two-way streets to keep your eye on the signs, because it's so easy to go up the wrong one. So you've really got to be looking and planning and thinking, etc. Why some are and some aren't, I'm not quite sure. It's just the way they design things, isn't it? So we're going to go right here. It's a two-way street, so you've got to stay on your normal side. So look at the road markings, they stop halfway across, whereas a one-way street, the double white line goes all the way across. Or it should do. So we're going to go left here, again we're going to a one-way street. So it's just a normal left turn, no difference there. Again, we are still looking for cars coming out. People tend to rub the corners thinking, oh, it doesn't matter because you can go around them. But as we've seen, you have cars coming the wrong way up them, don't you? So you've got to look for that. So at the end, we're going to go right. It's a one-way street, so we're going to go over to the right. Quite often you get people parking right up to the corners, as I said, which is a bit of a pain because it doesn't allow the flow of traffic. But we're going to go to the right the best we can. And it just feels weird the first few times you do it, but just make sure it is a one-way street. You don't want to be doing it if it's a two-way street, because that could be interesting. So we're just looking as per normal, again just making sure we're turning the correct way into the street, because the one along the top might be a one-way as well. I'm going to go right here, and this is a one-way street. So when we turn, I can turn now. I don't need to wait. As long as I check, I've always got to check. I couldn't really go further up there anyway because some numpty's parked in the corner. So, but when you turn right, you can turn earlier basically. You can turn straight away, and when you emerge, you can keep over to the right. So that's the main difference is. I'm just going to do one more right turn from a major to a minor. And say, look, this one's, they've barrowed it at the end. I think that's to stop you, to make you realise you can't go straight on, and for him to make him realise he can't come straight on. But he's not signalling, so this could be interesting. He's on his phone as well, which makes it even more interesting. So all these things you need to be looking for, because you're paying attention. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean everyone else is. So we're going to go right here. We're in a two-way street at the moment, so we must keep over to the left-hand side. And when I turn, I'm going to check that he's stopping. I'm going to turn straight away, because it is a one-way street. So I'm just going to put up here. So that's it really, quite straightforward. But you must, really the most important thing is realise if you're in a one-way street or not, because some are, some aren't, and it can be quite confusing. So worth going out, practicing them, looking at them, but make sure you know if you're in one or not. Okay, thank you.